てもいいだろう。権力は足が速い。すぐに腐っちまうもんさ。
Hey my dear pirates, you are on channel, Straw Hat's One Piece Theories, and in today's video we're going to talk about Imsama's final army in One Piece. We know that Imsama is at the top of the world government hierarchy, and as the navy responds only to the world government, that means that Imsama has an entire army under his control. However, what if Imsama has more than just sailors and a few admirals under his control? What if Imsama hides a true army that can really bring the destruction of the world? Could it be that Imsama's military power consists only of controlling the Gorosei and the Navy? Well, we're going to analyze all this in today's video, so if you want to be a pirate king like me and achieve eternal glory, go ahead and press the like button with all the power of your devil fruit, and if you're new here my dear sailor, already subscribe to the channel and don't forget to activate the notifications bell so you don't miss any new video, okay? Then join this crew that will dominate the entire Grand Line and the New World. Now without further ado, let's get to this epic video. And well my dear pirate, in every Battle Shonen anime one of the things we most hope to happen is that grandiose clash, the famous wars and battles where we see all the conflict of that universe emerging only on an even larger scale. In the One Piece anime itself we had the Marineford War, which is also known as the War of the Best. That was the pinnacle of One Piece. There were established many things that we have in the works so far, like the power level of the Navy and its admirals and how powerful the Yonko were, and of course, that arc served as a learning arc for Luffy and many other supernovas of how dangerous and cruel the world really was. However, one of the defects that these great battles have is that they end up revealing a limitation of the enemy army. In Naruto we saw how Obita ended up starting the Fourth Great Ninja War in a completely unprepared way, that if it were not for the help of Kabuto and his Edo Tensei, Obita would hardly have been able to go very far in his objectives, which was to capture the last remaining tailed beast, the 9-8 tails. In Dragon Ball something similar has always happened, although it was not a battle on the same scale as that of Naruto and One Piece. The Namek arc revealed Frieza's weakness, that even having an army and several collaborators, such as the Ginyu Special Forces, Frieza still managed to lose to Goku and his friends. What do I mean by all this? Well, as much as the great villain of these stories was absurdly powerful and had an equally powerful army, still, their pride in thinking that they already had victory guaranteed by trusting too much in their army as well as trusting too much in their own powers ended up being the downfall of them all. Almost always these villains don't have one last card up their sleeve as an alternative, so that if something goes wrong, or a plan B to try to beat their opponents who have become much greater than mere nuisances. No, they are so confident in their own abilities and in their armies, which is why they always lose in the end. Of course you can say that this is something that has to happen, because all shounen is like that. Well, I agree with that, because the villain has to have a flaw so that he can be defeated, but I believe that One Piece can do it differently. I believe that Oda can change this common sense that exists between the writings of Battle Shonen. Because if every anime and manga of this style ends in the same way, with a villain who believes he is too powerful for having a large army but in the end he loses in a way that seemed impossible, I would rather stop following works of this genre. I believe that Battle Shonen can make villains more prepared, and I believe that Oda will do that, because if we stop to think a little, we will realize that One Piece's power level is starting to get too unbalanced. When the Marines had the Shichibukai under their control and the Yonko were still in balance, it seemed that the world was under the world government's rule, but now that the Shichibukai are no longer part of the world government and the Yonko no longer give balance to the world, it seems that the power of the world government has been limited. Today they can no longer act in the same way, even having the Seraphim and all the CP. It seems that the world government is increasingly losing its powers, so much so that we saw how Imsama and the Gorosei gave the order for the destruction of Lelougia. That wasn't just a fear that Sabo would reveal something to the world, but a clear demonstration of power. It's as if the world government is saying, look, this is our power, stop confronting us or the consequences will be severe. But what we see in reality is that any CP that the government sends no longer poses any threat. the last admiral that was sent to do something, was simply humiliated by Shanks, and even his secret weapons, the Seraphim, which are extremely powerful, are having an easy time facing the Straw Hats. So I'm thinking, is this all the power the world government has? Could it be that this is all Imsama has under her control? Well, think with me. If all we've seen so far is the full potential of the world government, the Navy and Imsama, well, I believe they're not as far ahead as they seemed to be a while ago. Luffy is extremely powerful with his Gear 5 and will definitely evolve more as time goes by. Shanks is practically a living copy of the Pirate King. The Shichibukai are now against the world government, not to mention the thousands of pirate crews that exist around the world. The Navy doesn't even know if they can count on Garp on their side at the end of One Piece, so it could take this huge loss as well, and I believe Aokiji and even Blackbeard will fight the world government when the time comes. So, unless Imsama has some hidden army that is very powerful, or that Uranus is really in his possession, since we imagine that what happened in Lelougia was done with this weapon, and that this ancient weapon can be fired several times, and that the admirals and the Gorosei have secret powers that we don't know yet, I think it's very difficult for pirates to lose in a battle at the end. That's why I said that I believe that Oda created something special, because Imsama is a very mysterious being, and surely he must have something even more powerful than the ancestral weapons themselves in his possession. Who knows, a hidden army with Zoan powers legends never seen. I don't know what it could be, but if Oda is not careful, his work could be an ending where the villain will not demonstrate that he has everything under control, and that in reality he is not as great a danger as he appeared to be. But now I want to know your opinion about everything we commented here today. Do you believe that there is any possibility that Imsama has a hidden special army? Or will the Gorosei reveal themselves as godlike beings, and the admirals will receive more powers by the end of One Piece? But of course, if you made it this far, it's because you like the content, so it doesn't hurt to subscribe to our channel and become one more member of our fleet, my dear sailor. And of course, do not forget to press the like button, that helps a lot in spreading the video and the channel, so help us to become the largest fleet of pirates here on YouTube, okay? A big hug for everyone, and until the next video.